Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I am your planetary defense commander. I know this big white chunk on the side is annoying. I know I've gotten overweight by being your planetary defense commander and making 2,800 videos. But I'd like to take this moment out to say that, okay, so I think my warning from December 15th to January 15th was like a new Thor News record for as well as I nailed the bullseye and tried to give everyone, including the richest of the rich and the coolest of the cool on the planet, the best information that I could on how to prepare for that which we would deal with. And so I just looked back and I checked, like, hey man, when did Trump get impeached? That was on the 18th. And remember, I've been putting out this warning all year, and a lot of that came from a lot of the wonderful astrologers in the astrologer community, specifically the Leo King, David Palmer. And so Trump was impeached. I'm like, okay, so like that was how we kicked off. It's like, all right, we need to watch this month as the whole world changes. And as I told y'all the whole time, that he would never get impeached and removed. Okay, so that it's like the Democrats and the Republicans. Let's consider them part of the secret society. Like they're their own little club, man. And so they were working together to keep the public distracted. And one way to show that the impeachment was all a ruse was that literally since the day Democrats voted to impeach him, it was like, yay! And the only thing that really happened was that, like, now he has to wear some imaginary scarlet letter of D on his jacket that only half the country sees. So the impeachment did nothing. It was like the whole Kavanaugh trial, like it accomplished nothing except for giving the media tons of toxic chum to feed to the people for their divide and conquer fear addiction. And that literally, once the Democrats voted to impeach him, which did nothing, literally neither side has really talked about it again. They're just like hoping the public forgets or some shit. Or like they're gonna wait till a lull where the media needs like something new to distract the public with, because we all know the 242 votes needed for the Democrats or for the Republicans to vote Trump out of office is never going to happen. And so it was a useless endeavor that wasted your time, energy, and money. And so as we've seen this whole month go on with then war in the Middle East, asterisk, I remind people on the like crazy bad guy thing, where at some point in the world someone's like, hey, I'm the crazy bad guy now. I'm gonna fight the oil industry. That like Iran in the last year, Iran sent a drone 2,000 miles, bombed a Saudi Arabian refinery, and then a couple months later, Iran then attacked our U.S. embassy in Iraq, and then we killed the evil Sean Connery, the Shadow Commander, evil Sean Connery. And everybody knows we can't have evil Sean Connery fucking shit up. And people say, and then Iran for Act 3 shot down its own plane. I mean, that's about as crazy fucking bad guy as you could get. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so today on Pluto Conjunction Day, we get a massive volcano. Brexit stuck in the fucking mud. Brexit doing nothing is kind of like, and meanwhile, the Dow Jones hits 30,000 for the first time ever. And so I'm going to make a Thor News prediction again, looking at everything from a neutral point of view. Remember, for 7 years, I'm the guy who's told you don't believe in politics, don't believe in politicians. whatever the media is trying to focus your eyes on, that is not what you should focus on. All right? For 7 years, I did it under Obama, and I've been doing it under Trump, just quieter because conservatives can be more aggressively meaner. No disrespect, it's just the truth, man. And the conservatives have the best hackers in the world. And so it's just like 2008, bro. I said it the whole time. I fear with Trump, he's going to be a one-term George W. Bush. And I'm saying this scientifically, matter-of-factly, without any fucking cheerleading. That they get the stock markets to kick-ass fucking prices, and then comes the falling knife that no one can see. Because remember, the Federal Reserve has made 3 interest rate cuts, which it had to do after the financial crash last time, and they pumped $400 billion into the markets through repo short-term loans that stay on the books for God knows how long. Right? And so we've gotten the markets to these levels. And so I'm saying within the next year, I believe the markets are going to crash at like 2008 levels. And so everybody's being distracted. Well, they pump up the stock markets, get the whole public not worried about it, and then they get the money out through the crash. And then we're like, oh, and then we're going to get stuck with like Biden. Nobody wants Biden. Dude, you know, that's why literally the media's trying like, nobody wants Biden, and the media is trying to sell the people Biden. And for the last decade, the media, Nike, every single broadcaster is talking about women, 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 women. And except when it comes to the presidential election, they won't tout Elizabeth Warren at all. And I have never seen the Democrats go after someone as fiercely, not counting our president Trump, as they did Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, who I liked and seemed like, wow, that would be the candidate I would actually vote for. Everyone was like, she's a total Russian spy. And then they had all these famous people saying shit like, oh, she's a total Russian. And like, she was a soldier, man. Out of all these motherfuckers that serve in office that never went to the military, Tulsi went into the motherfucking military. So you are accusing publicly a soldier of being a Russian spy without a single fucking shred of evidence. That's what our Americans and our men and women have been reduced to because of politics. And that neither side has come close to taking care of our veterans in a healthcare kind of a way. Like when Iran attacked the fucking refinery in Saudi Arabia, Trump was like, hey, dude, we're sending troops over to protect the refineries in Saudi Arabia because they pay cash. And even bragged about they already gave us $1 billion. Saudi Arabia gave us $1 billion. It's like, well, dude, put that straight into the fucking veterans' health care. Because if you are in our military at any time, I do believe with full heart that our government should take care of your health care, any type of housing assistance, schooling. If you're going to give your all for our country for 4 to 8 years or more, then you deserve the country to take care of you for the rest of your life without any guilt or shame. The United States of America. The corporate United States of America. And then, so like you got the whole, where the 60 groups, like the 316, 319, are then in battle with each other while they're duping the public. And I'm shocked I'm still alive. And Dutch Sense is now gone, and Dutch Sense was like the original real truth community space weather, earthquake, volcano guy. And it's like that. My future, like I gave my all to this, to everybody, to try and help to get us to a place of real knowledge. And then if you understand the truth about oil, you can connect it all together, that the sun energy, whether it be solar wind or coronal mass ejections, the solar wind energy, the sun's energy goes into our planet through the auroras, and it grows our little star core, making it bigger like umbilical cords. And that so all that material is being created at the, we have a stellar furnace inside of our planet. And then so you can make a whole lot more connections with earthquakes, volcanoes, and everything if you were to tell the public the truth over what is the giant lie that has persisted for 130 years. So here we are at Pluto and Saturn Day. And it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I'm surprised I'm still alive, but I don't know how to live in a world and not tell the truth. I don't like selling out is never my thing. I've never technically liked money because people just weren't like, if you're rich, people treat you like you're an amazing human being, even if you're not. People will laugh at every fucking joke you tell, even if they're all dumb, if they're on your fucking payroll. And so, yeah, in 2020, I don't know what to do with this world, but the 7-year Scorpio season that we went through from 2012, December, the whole thingy, to just like 6 months ago, that Scorpio season is over. Where the people who will sting you and blame you for stinging yourselves, the people who have made the most, gotten the most power from dividing and conquering the people, that was their time. That was our time of tribulation. All right? And so that's why like all the Christians who like argue with me that like, oh dude, the time of real tribulation has not come yet. We need aliens to come down and nail us to the wall and then peel our skin off, or forcing us to listen to like subterranean Bogslavovian K-pop. Like, we have not suffered enough. We've not sacrificed enough. God and Jesus Christ want us to suffer more. And I do believe that our period of suffering and tribulation can be and should be over. We've suffered enough, bro. And so, like, the Scorpio, like, we're coming out of hopefully that 7-year tribulation period. That's why, even though everything is shitty, and this period I've talked about from December 15th to January 15th has been wildly disruptive. And it's been happening so fast, we don't even know it. So I still maintain faith. And I am calling out and asking for everybody to give up the divide and conquer, he said, she said bullshit. Where somehow like you are angry and you know who to blame for every problem this world has ever had in 5,000 fucking years that has snowballed all the way to us. Like, it's like the baby boomers were like, ooh, how do we like live the best lifestyle ever right before we die, not worrying about what we're going to leave behind. And then the millennials are like, oh, dude, how can we become the richest and the most famous and the best ever while getting rid of anyone who ever taught us anything so that no one knows we weren't self-made men and women. And so us Gen Xers have been in the middle holding it all together. And that's why I'm really worried about death and getting assassinated, because if the world just keeps getting shittier, if they just keep figuring out how to make a ton of money until this thing breaks, then there's no real point in sticking around. I don't think that's what's going to happen. How do I look? Do I look super sexy? Dude, I'd have been so much sexier if I hadn't started a YouTube channel. Did you ever think about that? So yeah, this is just like my personal rant. It is the day I've been talking about, Pluto conjunction. And it's like, Cranky's always been my weather guy. Like, if I have a theory, I go check it against what Cranky thinks. And Dutch has always been my weather guy. I mean, my earthquake guy. Like, if I have a theory, like, about especially earthquakes that are coming, Dutch was always the guy that I went to first. And even though Suspicious Observers is now what I consider the most teamworky guy in the world, he might not even be nice, but he does put out a lot of good information on earthquakes. And so if the time comes that we're in an earthquake zone, I always recommend those two people just to check against what I am saying and what is going on. And the fact that we had a major fucking volcano eruption on top of major volcano eruptions that have been popping off everywhere, on top of 2,000 earthquakes in Puerto Rico, the fact that they took Dutch down a few days ago is bad motherfucking news. That means I am correct, and we're probably going to see volcanic activity along the west coast of the United States. And they're going to distract you, and they're going to blame 500 fucking arsonists. And another thing, the people that I piss off, the people who own billions in real estate who do not want the truth out there. Guess what one of the number one fucking housing bubbles in the world is Australia. Kind of like we know we're going to see wildfires and possible volcano eruptions along the west coast with the gas giants on the same side. Hey, the west coast is also one of the biggest housing bubbles in the United States and in the, like, there's no surprise that these nice areas around the volcano ranges are going to be in danger, and at the same motherfucking time, they're doing what they can to boost the prices up and make as much money as fucking possible. We become the consumer and the consumed. And they wave the fucking flag in your face the whole time, claiming patriotism. Doesn't matter which fucking side it is. And they're the first to send our troops into some bullshit fucking war. Doesn't matter what side it is. Oil and war and divide and conquer have run us for 134 years. That is what I have said the whole time. That is what I'm saying now. And it is the fucking truth. So if they take my YouTube channel down or somehow they get rid of me, I did my very best. Now I don't know what's going to happen next. And anyone who tells you they know what's going to happen next, they are lying to themselves or they are lying to you or both. And that this world has 1 billion families, and the only way this shit works is if we all work together. That all of this shit takes a shit ton of teamwork. Earth is huge. There are tons of people on the planet. No one man or 10 men or fucking super gods, man. You all take shits and you disappoint your girlfriends and wives regularly. I spent the last 40 years going around meeting with basically everybody from groups to try and figure out how to work this shit out when we would hit 2020. I have planted as many good seeds as possible, and only God knows. But I recommend everybody take this time as a second chance of jubilee and forgiveness to where we can create a beautiful, wonderful future together, and we can adapt to these solar system Earth weather changes that are happening. And if you get upset that I am cooler or a better leader than you, I'm sorry. Jealousy is a bitch. Please try to get over it. We got important shit we need to do. And I'm tired of being in this foxhole. I'm a Sagittarius. I want to be out running, having fun, telling jokes, seeing the world, meeting people, eating new foods, telling jokes, making my girl really happy. Getting the biggest smile on her face ever. Having people be like, dude, last night was the funnest night I ever had. Dude, I don't know, people said it maybe 100,000 times in my life. Where you can just be a party, the whole group, everybody can have a good time. That's what I do. That's how I do it. That's how we used to do it in the mid-90s and the early 2000s before the bad guys came in and divide and conquered and fuck everything up always. So don't fall for the divide and conquer, he said, she said bullshit. I think we got a fucking stock market crash coming this year. There's no way around it. And so when they dole out another $100 trillion, the public, Joe Q, you and me need to be there ready to make sure we are at the table with the other 300 groups who are trying to fucking combine all the pie. And I want you to check from the $100 trillion they spent since 2008, how much did you get? I mean, it averaged out for just the 16 trillion spent, that would be $50,000 to $100,000 per American. Like, literally, instead of giving to the banks, they would give it to the people. That was just a straight check, right? You didn't get that shit. What you got was lower wages, more bank fees, worse services, healthcare that will almost fucking kill you if you cross, like, if you were just gonna get older and be a tax drain on their fucking profits. They will pull the plug in the hospital when nobody's looking. They will give you bad fucking medicine. But most of all, this shit is always like no fun. And that life is a gift, life is a miracle, God is great, and God, Jesus Christ, and all the great loved ones that have passed on before us, humans and animals, want us to be happy, want us to do a great job, want us to be the heroes we can be in 2020 to kick off the next 1,000 years. The moon wants us to be happy, the sun wants us to be happy, the solar system. We are the ones who are torturing our fucking selves. And we are being led by the worst of the worst. And no, I'm not specifically talking about any individual. I'm talking about the groups who have the power to make changes and who are just trying to hold on to the old system as long as possible. Now, also, I haven't gotten to cuddle in 2 years. That may not be very important to you, but if you offered me an amazing kiss or $1 million today, I would take the amazing kiss. Because those are way rarer than $1 million. It doesn't feel like, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say things from my perspective. Like, it's always darkest before the dawn. I personally had made a note, like, I'm going to be under kind of shitty conditions, attacked the whole time from October 26th. The like dark, woo, spooky, magic, witches, woo, period, which was dark. Was Lilith, woo, underworld, all the way to January 15th. So we're 3 days away. And technically the energy will extend. We just hit the main peak point somewhere today. Could be 3 more days. I don't know. Hopefully we've stopped with the big deaths at Buck Henry, Neil Peart, and the Omar president guy. I'm tired of death, man. I'm tired of death threats too. Not that they fucking, you know. But I guess it's like, have you ever been in a relationship and, so yeah, at the beginning the kisses are super great and everything, but then like 10,000 kisses later, you're like, you take the kiss for granted. I guess that's how I become with death threats. Like 10,000 death threats later, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it. I am lucky and I am blessed, and the Asteroid Fight Club is deeper, more talented, and more amazing than most of you recognize and realize. When I started Thor News, we were concerned about asteroids. And then, when I wasn't as concerned about asteroids any much, other than the metaphorical ones, we started Asteroid Fight Club. And then I was worried about hurricanes for a long time. It looks like at least American hurricanes, we need one more season to verify, but our atmospheric defense Space Force team may have had shit under control. And part of the reason, when I showed them that QPF map, when it showed like half of Texas in all red, it was like 6 hours later where that map was like all green, and it looked like they shot the storm itself with the high pressure. I don't even know what so they lessened the damage that thing would have done. And so I believe we've made major steps and advancements in Asteroid Fight Club, and definitely Thor News since I started. But definitely 2020 is the big test. Like if World War III starts, or we get into hyperinflation and lawlessness, or we get the like super Black Death plague that was manufactured, or if any of those shitty outcomes happen, then I guess it was like scoring 100 points in an NBA loss, and then I'll apologize, but I know I'm all fired up. I just wish shit would improve faster. It's like the thing people fear most is giving up their addiction to fear and hate. And I will never understand how so many people on earth spend so much of their time hating people. Or just with such, like, I don't understand how you can hold anger for very long. I'm a Sagittarius, so pain and anger, I like to get away from them as soon as possible. So like I spend most of my time running in the moment or running into the future. The past is like, dude, I can have time to recollect on all that when I'm gone. Or I can leave a bunch of videos behind. But I guess I gotta spend time downloading all my 2,800 videos because they wiped Dutch's channel completely. And I've been under too much of attack for the last 2 years to worry about bumping up production quality, backing up all my shit. Like I don't. And I've made a lot of fantastic videos, especially before the Taylor Selena thing started, where they would kind of drain my energy all day, every day for 2 years. Before that shit happened, 80% of my videos were edited, and they were some of the greatest videos on YouTube of all time. Before the gaggle figured out how to drain all my fucking good energy. So I definitely want to save a lot of those. And I'd even had a dream that someday things would get better and I could go through all 2,800 videos and pull out all the best, funniest jokes and then make like a 1 or 2 hour video movie that we could show in a theater or two of just 2 hours of funniness. I don't know, maybe comedy and rock and roll are never coming back. Maybe it is doom, but I don't believe that. Anyway, I forgive Taylor and Selena. We've all made mistakes and done shit we probably shouldn't have or regretted or just weren't smart about. I forgive everybody, and that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, it is a great time for everybody to stop punishing everyone out there at all times and blaming people and then getting their popularity or their rocks off by trolling and blaming and dividing and conquering and gossiping, and let us get some shit done. Now let's bring back rock and roll comedy, teamwork, family. But that's what I think is going to happen. I think the economy is going to crater in a couple months, and that all the people that believed that the economy was great are going to be like, and then both sides will be like, you know what, Thor was right. Because I endured this under both Obama and Trump, where I'm like, dude, the political process is not your friend. All the political system does is make things less effective and more expensive. Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec. There are a lot of good people who work in government, have worked in government, and technically, in my heart, I believe that Putin, Obama, and Trump have all been trying to get the world to a better place, and that the whole situation is much more complicated than most people can even wrap their minds around. Yeah, 2020, I vote Jubilee and forgiveness. We all get a second chance to make our future the future we all want and deserve, that is made to stand the test of time. 1,000 years of peace. Let the tribulation period be over. God bless everyone. I love y'all, and I thank y'all very much. And I do thank all my muses and crushes and family and friends, and even the people who have perturbed me so many times to make me a much better man and understand what is and isn't real and important. I love you guys. Stay cool. I don't want to say we were past the worst, because definitely for the next 3 days and the next week. And I'm extremely worried about Puerto Rico, concerned. Australia, like, it's almost like if you divide up the world, like the people who believe that human beings are of value and God's children and worth and that deserve food, a place to stay, and some fellowship, like those people can separate from the people who think that it's all business all the time. The only thing that matters is money, that you can betray anybody for money. Like if we could divide those two groups up, I could just go live in a place where all the cool people are like, yeah, let's just be cool and enjoy it, man. Make things better. It's not that simple. But I don't know how to give up on y'all. I don't know how to give up on people. So I'm not going to. And I love you guys. Okay, I'll talk to y'all soon. It's a strange day. Please stay cool. Please say a prayer for your friends, family, and enemies. And please help me, help you, help us make this world a better place.